recovery sucks. Everyone's looking for that hack that's going to somehow jumpstart their recovery. And I was asked about contrast baths and if that's possibly something that can do it for you, so I dove into the research. Included in this post is the data from 6 studies, 3 of which were meta-analysis. Among those studies, the evidence showed that contrast baths had minor benefits compared to ice bathing alone and passive recovery, aka doing nothing, in subjective measurements. Subjective measurements are things like how do you feel recovered, how sore are your muscles, things like that. There was no consistent, statistically significant benefits of contrast baths in objective markers of recovery, things like creatine kinase and blood lactate levels. One meta-analysis that was in favor of contrast baths was actually flagged for a risk of bias because all 18 studies ended up with a high risk of bias on a Cochrane risk of bias analysis. Although I included that data in this study, take it for what you will. So now what? Well, the choice is yours. If you like taking contrast baths, keep taking them. If you're going to use them, personally, I recommend using them if you have like a back-to-back or a 4 and 5, or just any time where you need to perform again the next day, because perceived recovery is really important going into that next game. If you don't have a game the next day, I don't recommend using contrast baths. That way you can just let your body's natural inflammatory recovery process do its thing and heal your body. Don't buy into the hype and the BS that you see on social media. As Layne Norton says, data doesn't care about your feelings.